Hey, welcome to another exciting new project. We're on site down in Albany, Western Australia. It's been a few years in the making. It's come together beautiful, so come on in, covered. It's been 2 years since we saw the build plans for this house, and today we're actually handing over the final fit out, the trim, a stunning cinema created by the Rogue team, and of course the vision of the client. A few challenges as usual, which have led to some amazing innovation. The seating was a key component that was already purchased and already part of the room. We wanted something big, bold, and spectacular, and given the room constraints, we had to design the side of the room to accommodate maximal space and flow for the seating. I think you'd agree, it's come up looking fantastic. The seating is a major component of the cinema. In fact, it's the first place we start. If we've got a room, we need to arrange the seats in. If it's a brand new build, then we can talk about how many seats or family and friends are important to accommodate. Ultimately, it is a personal taste, but there's a practicality on how many seats will work really well. This room has the luxury of length, so it's accommodated these 2 rows of seats really well. And the client had a vision of the entry flow through the middle. So it was important for them to have the architectural elements of the room work right with the seating. There's a few components to this. Single row of seats are usually a little bit easier to work with, and typically we try to keep the seats away from the boundaries and the walls. Not always easy in a home theater, which means that some seats will lean to be more the sweet spot and other seats may be a little bit more secondary. The ideal goal is to make sure that every seat is a great seat. Now, when it comes to a grand final weekender and you want to bring in all the crew, even using something like the bar stools in the bar or the kitchen area can come into the cinema room and populate, allowing for that sort of extra grandstanding, extra overflow seating, beanbags as well if it's a family event with kids. And we'll usually find a room like this, which has 2, 4, 6, 8 primary seats in here, can expand to around 16 for those special events. But ultimately, you want to design the room around the primary key family members. Who uses the room week in, week out? They're the seats that are most important. Often we find people will put in more seats than they really practically need, and that can constrain the primary seating and limit performance or the flow of the room. With a 2-row cinema like this, then of course a seating riser or a stage system for the seats is important. So you've got line of sight for the video. Don't want to get in the way of people viewing from different vantage points. So here, the geometry and the positioning of the seats are all mapped out in the CAD drawing to make sure the sight lines are perfect. Meanwhile, the lighting systems are supporting a good, safe flow of entry in and out of the seating as well. The family here love movies and of course some R&R to draw you away from the real world. Home cinema is just perfect for that. Sporting, TV documentaries, music, and movies feature in this room as a priority for the family. Entertaining is something that happens every so often, and therefore the 2 rows of seats rather than just the 2 primary people that actually live in the house full time. Already experiencing a little bit of sound and picture in previous homes. Homeowner here wanted to do something really special that complements the style of the rest of the home and adds a real wow factor. I absolutely love it. I feel that with collaboration between the client's vision, our design and engineering team, it's always that fine balance to find something unique, something that works, and something that's still personal to the end user. This cinema has state-of-the-art componentry, as you'd expect. The room itself is 6 meters long, 4.5 meters wide, and 3 meters of height. just giving us some really great design options and good space to allow the acoustics to open up, and also nice generous space for a proper 2 rows of seats with room to move. Just like going out to the big commercial cinemas, we have the sound system powering and directed right through the screen. So when the dialogue and the intention of the character is seen, that's where the voice, the dialogue, the actual sound coordinates with the picture for the most seamless experience. Helps you believe in the unbelievable, and it really makes a more cohesive, realistic, and natural approach. To do this, an acoustically transparent screen is required. No easy feat. We want a great picture that reflects the light back to the viewer while letting sound go through. So here, special perforated screens are utilized, and we've got the exact measurements to ensure that all rows of seats are getting great picture, while the sound behind is powering through the screen without it being a major obstacle, which it clearly is. So there's definitely some engineering factors that need to go into this technique, but it's absolutely worth it. Not only is the center or the dialogue speaker right here up in the action, we also have the left and the right speakers also projecting through the screen. So you get this huge sound stage right through the picture, absolutely seamless, and the direct sound, the best quality sound, firing straight at the audience. Clear, easy to listen to dialogue is always eminent in this room. Meanwhile, the music effects draw you in and get your toe tap in. While the effects can explode, everything is balanced, everything is beautiful, not just thanks to the orientation of the speakers, but also the acoustical control of the room. How the room actually responds or resonates is going to impact the sound the most. We've got some great speakers behind here. Here we have the Ascendo 6P dedicated cinema speakers up behind the screen. We've got the 5P versions along through the room for the surround sound. Overhead, more Ascendo speakers firing down back towards the primary listeners, creating that Dolby Atmos soundscape. The subwoofers, we have a pair of 12-inch 600-watt Ascendo subwoofers firing from the front of the room, perfectly calibrated and time aligned to create a cohesive, natural, and high impact sound throughout the space. Thanks to Denon's calibration systems, we have the Odyssey calibration options, which were expertly processed by the iPad application that gives us more control than the typical onboard system. Once we add all that up, the right speaker locations, good quality speakers, good amplification, calibration techniques, the acoustical elements of the room, you just get that big, open, cinematic, clear sound, which is just simply awesome. It's the sort of sound that we've heard much more expensive equipment simply not do, because one or many of those elements aren't pulling the weight. It was always about going out to the big screen when it comes to the movies. That's why in home cinema, it is exactly that. And although TVs have become pretty large, they certainly don't get the immersive feeling of a true size cinematic screen. We still call for the projection systems to get us there. This is a 146-inch size screen. It's got a micro perforation on the material to let the sound go right through, or giving us an excellent punchy result. Powered up by the Epson LS12000 projector, this new model that came out just last year is a laser powered unit, which means servicing and maintenance of these projection systems now are actually down to a minimal. Once calibrated, the laser light source will stay very consistent, meaning that only maybe every 2 or 3 years do we really need to come back and look at color correction or optimization of the video. We're also gaining way more light than we had only 5 years ago. So we can go to the bigger screens, the ideal screen sizes, and not necessarily need the high-end projection brands with the crazy amount of power output to get a very, very entertaining picture. Furthermore, the Epson series allows for a lens shift option that can actually change the screen size and shape to really suit which viewers and listeners or seating distances might work best. So sometimes one size does not suit all, and a motorized lens system actually does give users a bit more flexibility on how they like to watch the video. The sound system is a 5-channel 0.2.2. So that means we've got 3 speakers behind the screen and a pair of surrounds, while we have 2 subwoofers and then 2 overhead speakers. This is the primary speaker count to get into Dolby Atmos sound, and the room is wired up to allow for more speakers to accommodate more viewers as they entertain. They may want to upgrade the sound for entertaining, and we also have room for even more overhead speakers. But the key here is quality over quantity, and it is 2 primary viewers in a primary seating position. So this really allowed us to get a great acoustical layout and good core speaker quality without just going lots and lots of quantity. With that, we've got the cabinetry team integrated, some space for the equipment tucked away with an exhaust system to ensure cooling and the proper cabling allowances. We're powered up here by the Denon AVR. It's an all-in-one box. You really can't get much more technology and power out of a one-box product for the money than the Denon. Japanese brand, been around over 100 years and absolutely packed with technology. This amp will actually run an extra couple of speakers already and in process and deliver even more sound and speakers should the client like to upgrade in the future. Something that happens quite often is, in fact, within the short period of time, because the room is so exciting and so awesome, these upgrades can come a little bit earlier than people might expect. Here we've got Ultra Blu-ray disc, Apple TV 4K for 4K Netflix, the KO Sport, or even better for Sport, it's equipped with the Foxtel 4K box for the ultimate 4K Sport. Highest resolution for sport in Australia is through the Foxtel box, with really less limitations with bandwidth. So the Foxtel 4K, absolutely smashing it for sport content. Controlling the room, we have the Control 4 smart remote control. This unit's an absolute breeze to use. We show clients the system once and they're off and running. The confidence is there. In addition to the handheld remote, which gives you everything you need, there's also the keypad on the entry of the room for, of course, the typical lighting. So very, very simple. The top button on, we get all the lights on. We then have a few welcome or feature scenes for a bit of different flavor, which of course this room is packed full of feature lights, and off to just shut down everything. So if you've got guests or a cleaner or someone coming to the room, you don't need to be an expert. It's all just logical how the room works. And it's already 1 month in for the clients. There's been no contact other than we're loving the room. No questions, just a lot of fun. The beautiful room is going to set a mood and ambience. So lighting, of course, like any beautiful space or architecture, is really going to set that off. Now, clearly this room has quite a few tricks up its sleeve, and it's not of value with 30 or so channels of lighting unless it's easily coordinated. We're using the Control 4 Halo remote control, which makes the ability to choose lighting scenes at any moment, converting the space from one mood to another. Here we've got a sunset vibe, which is a little bit of a feel and a color theme from the pool area around the side. We also have a sports fan in the room. So those in Western Australia are probably going to tell what this lighting theme's all about. This would be the Western Derby, the West Coast Eagles versus the Dockers theme playing here, and Formula One fan indeed. So we're going to check out a little bit of lighting for some F1. anyone's guess on this one, of course, is Ferraris. So we can have a bit of fun and theme with the room. And this isn't always just selected via a menu of different lighting scenes. Rather, when the client comes in to watch something new, the lighting will actually coordinate with the choice of watching sport, the choice of watching a movie. These actually favorite scenes already pre-programmed. This one we've just set to is intermission. So if you want to hit pause and get out of the room to refresh the drinks or go to the loo, then hitting pause will kick in the intermission mode here. Just enough lighting to get you out of the seat without causing discomfort to the other viewers and listeners as well. All an absolute breeze, bit of creativity, a whole bunch of fun. These rooms are unique, so you've got to let a bit of inner child out and have some fun. Comfy cinema room needs to have a nice climate. For some, it's about nice chilly room where you can get the blanket and rug up. For others, it's about a little bit more warm and typical space. For that, you need good airflow. Now, if your equipment's in the room, which many are, projectors, amplifiers, people, these rooms do run warm. If you then choose to sound isolate, seal up the room to stop the noise, these rooms will run really warm. So the aircon systems come in many different styles, but effectively you need to either cool down the room in the room, or you need to replace the air in the room by pushing fresh air in, climate controlled, and then an exhaust system out. Further to that, the projection systems need to breathe as well. So these need some intake, fan options, and exhaust options to ensure that it stays at the right operational temperature and avoid the unit kicking up its fans, trying to feed in the sound, creating often even more noise in the room. So great cinema room is quiet, and it's definitely has a nice temperate temperature so you can enjoy the room properly with fresh air to boot. Quite clearly, having a cinema here at home is absolutely a luxury. And why not go the extra measure? Have a little bit of extra space in the room, beef it up with a little bit of candy bar, some of your favorite treats, some of those that maybe you shouldn't have every single day, but why not? When you get to hang out and enjoy a movie, then you can indulge somewhat more. Going out to the movies was always about having that indulgence, that connection, that experience with your loved ones, your partner, maybe someone new in your life as well, where you're giving them a test drive. And I know actually for many of our clients, going out to the movies was the very start of their romance. So being able to connect and do that in your own home is super cool as well. So in this room, we do have a little bit of extra cabinetry and bar for some decor, some art, some memorabilia, and of course, some extra treats, which gives you just that extra excuse to enjoy yourself, let go and have some fun. Walking into your theater should be about change of state, leave the real world behind, come in and relax. If you're not confident the system's going to boot up and just do what you want, then it can actually be a place of anxiety and pain rather than pleasure. So a smart automation system sorts out all the technology, coordinates it for you and the whole family. Here, the smart remote by Control 4 allows you to simply choose what you want to watch. So here we've been watching a bit of Apple TV and Netflix. Now, if we want to watch something different, the watch screen pops up and say we want to go to a Blu-ray disc for those that enjoy their back catalog or indulge in the latest 4K movies. It's as simple as that. I'm here with the real mastermind of the project. It's Darren, the owner and the leader of this amazing room design. Darren, thanks so much for getting us involved with the project.
Oh, pleasure. It's been a great process since the day we met you, Scott, and the whole process gone really smoothly. Our plans have come into play how we wanted, and we're absolutely ecstatic with the results. So it's been very, very good.
Amazing. So what made you think of, this is a brand new home and you actually designed the whole home, no architect, there's full mastermind of you and it is stunning. Theatre room is really right in the middle of the home. So must have been a big priority from the start for you.
Yeah, look, we love our movies. We've been into a few sort of small home theatres in the past and have liked the feel of it, but wanted to create something that was really quite special, quite unique, with great sound, great visuals. And since we met you at your display, it's been sort of more from there. So yeah, look, it's something we've always wanted, and we're lucky enough to have achieved it.
Awesome. And what were maybe some of the bigger challenges around the room through the process, either at the beginning of the build or even, I know when we're creating the room, there's a balance of style and made things fit as well.
Yeah, look, the house is obviously a reasonable size house, but always you're constrained with certain size limits. So we've tried to sort of squeeze as much as we can into a space that's workable. Still want it to be intimate, but a bit of a wow factor as well. But along the way, look, the setup and pre-wire and pre-work by our builders was an integral part of getting it done. Cabinet makers did a fantastic job with their side of things, and once you guys started coming in, it started to come together. There's a lot of work in here, and it's a testament to some very long hours by a lot of people to bring it all together.
Indeed. I know you got hands-on, you got the trade skills back out and helped do some of the amazing fabric wall as well. So it was really cool, actually. I think all the lads had a lot of fun getting hands-on and having me help with that as well, because we had to travel a long way to get here. So that was a big part of it.
Yeah, 4 hours away from Perth, so a reasonable travel, and you guys have done it a few times now. So yeah, it's reasonably unique, I think, for something in this part of the world. I don't think too many people will embark on trying to put something like this together, because it just doesn't happen in a few days or a few weeks. This is since we met, it's been almost 2 years. So yeah, it's been a long process, but crafting it how we wanted it and getting the look right has been the main thing. And as I said, we're ecstatic that it's been achieved, and we've got what we've intended to sort of have as an outcome.
Yeah, it's pretty mind-blowing. The renders were like, wow, this is going to be great. The actual result, the scale and the feel of it, it's so much more. So we're just thrilled with that. And you've been here for a month now. We're here adding some final parts that we did get in the first time, and there's a projector upgrade, so that's super cool. So a month now. This is not just new and shiny. You've been here for a month. How are you enjoying the room, and you're in here often?
Yeah, it's good. It's great. Like pretty much every night, I'm sort of have a busy working life, and at night for me, this is a relaxation space. So at 10 o'clock at night, I'll be watching sport or Foxtel or watching the F1 if it's on, and it's a really good relaxing space for me. It's some people chill out different ways. I chill out by coming in here, so for me it works well. My wife loves the movie aspect of it. She's enjoyed a few movies in here, and it's a great space to be in. It feels like you're in a little cocoon in something a whole lot bigger. You sort of, the outside world gets sort of pushed away when you're in here. Yeah,
perfect. That's what it's all about, right? A bit of R&R, a bit of away from home, although you're still at home, and that's the feedback we often get. So obviously you've hit the mark. Thank you, Darren, so much. Any final thoughts to share for others that might be, looking at something similar?
Oh, look, I think if you have the dream, the vision to create something like this, and then chat with Scott, go and have that conversation. All along the way, the process has been great. They've been extremely helpful, the team. Nothing's ever been too hard. Workmanship's fantastic, and overall I couldn't recommend them more highly enough. If you're thinking of a project like this, bite the bullet and have a go. And these guys are certainly the guys to help you bring it all together.
I really appreciate it. So happy.
Thank you. Thanks, Scott. Cheers.